Hello everyone, and welcome back to another GeoGuessr video. I've been trying as much as possible to learn and get better at GeoGuessr in the recent weeks, and one of the things I've been doing is focusing my practice or learning on specific parts of the world or specific aspects of the meta. And one thing I thought it would be good to do was start a series called Learn GeoGuessr With Me. So what I'm going to do in these videos is I'm going to play through various maps and focus on learning aspects of the meta or country guessing or region guessing or whatever. So that's the explanation of what the series is. What I'm going to start with is Eastern Europe. The reason I've chosen Eastern Europe is because it's kind of a large area where I have trouble, selectively guessing different countries within the region. So I've created a map with all of the Baltic countries, the Central Eastern European countries, and then also the Balkan countries, and then on top of that, Ukraine and Russia, to kind of give myself some practice learning how to guess each one of these countries. And the good thing about this map that I didn't see on other maps that I was playing is that it has the same number of locations in each country. So no matter the size of the country, you've got an equal chance of guessing it. And the other thing I should talk about is I've got some tabs open up in the top that will help me sort of reference various aspects of the meta and check things and show you things as well. So that's why I've got all of those open. I'll cut up this video a bit so we don't have rounds where maybe that I'm in a rural location and I don't want to show you me scrolling for ages. But I've armed myself with a beer. So let's see how this goes. Cheers. Right, let's go and see what we get first. Okay, so we've got a village-like location. I'm going to start by looking at the plate on the car, which gives me a blue... there's a blue marker on the left side of the plate, or I suppose that's actually the right side, depending on which way you're looking at it. But it's on the left side when we look at it. So that implies we're in the EU. Obviously doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay, we've also got winter coverage. Immediately, I'm not quite sure where we are. I will go forward and have a look at these bollards if I could get to them, but it doesn't look like it's going to let me. So let's go forward some more. Okay, right. So we are in Czechia. Now, there's two things here that I know about the meta. First is these bollards. I have done a bollard video on this channel, which you can search for if you like. And that does cover these bollards. They're found in Czechia and Slovakia. And the reason I know this is Czechia is because on this sign, there is a white border. So in Slovakia, on these signs, usually I believe the black goes to the edge. Now, I might be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. But I believe that the black goes to the edge, and I think the font is a bit more bold. So, and also we saw that there was winter coverage, so you will see winter coverage. We can't see it at the moment, but we're on some other coverage. This looks like Gen 3, I guess. But winter coverage is found in, I believe it's Hungary, Czechia, and Bulgaria. Usually Hungary and Bulgaria mostly. But anyways, that's enough for this round. Let's go in Czechia. And that was Czechia, indeed. Okay, good start. Next round, well, we've got a flag there, which we're going to have a look at, because I'm not going to make this, a series where I don't look at the flags. And so that's an Albanian flag. Other things we can look for, we obviously see the rifts in the sky. The language, I need to learn more about the Albanian language, because it is pretty distinctive from all the other countries around it, I would say. But anyways, we know it's Albania, so let's guess in Albania and continue. Okay, right. We are in... So immediately looking at this location, I would say we look to be in a Baltic country. So Lithuania, Latvia, or Estonia, judging by the trees. But let's have a look at these bollards first. Right, okay, so this I will have covered, I believe, in my bollard video, but when you see this like white marker, well, it's the sort of standard European bollard style. A lot of countries have this style, but they have the white marker, and there's actually a number on this one. So Estonia and Latvia both have a white marker here, but I think Latvia is the one that usually has the number. So we're going to guess in Latvia. That is correct. Right. That's good so far. We haven't had to refer to any of our tabs up at the top. I'm sure we will get to that. But let's continue. Right. What have we got here? I'm going to move across a little bit. Okay, right. So, looking at this location immediately, I'm thinking Romania. The reason I'm thinking Romania, I've learned a bit about these concrete poles fairly recently. These poles with the sort of longer holes in them, typically found in Romania, Hungary, and Poland. Now, Poland and Hungary usually have, I think they're thinner poles, kind of looking like this one. The reason I say it's Romania usually has much thicker poles, but I believe Romania also usually paints the bottom of them white. So because of that, I am thinking Romania, although these do look more typical of like the Hungarian poles. So let's guess in Romania. We were in Romania. We were right at the bottom near the border with Bulgaria. But that's something to note. Let me see if I can get on GeoHints. So a couple of tabs I can talk about these briefly. I've got Plunkett, which is a great website, still in construction, but amazing for various hints and tips. And then GeoTips is also really great. Massive credits to the people who made these, because I don't know who they are. Maybe I'll put links in the description. Yeah, so there's the thicker Romanian pole that I was looking for. But regardless, the white paint at the bottom I think is typical of Romania. So let's go to the next location. And we have got rifts in the sky. So we spoke about rifts, obviously Albania and I didn't actually say in the previous one, but Albania and Montenegro both have these rifts. As far as guessing between Albania and Montenegro, this is one where I struggle. So I'm going to try and figure this out quickly. This is where I need sort of maybe a bit of language. Okay. So far I'm thinking like Albania. Montenegro, you'll sometimes see Cyrillic. That's a good way to sort of indicate between them. But I'm sure there's other information. The antenna sometimes I think helps. Let's have a look on GeoHints. What does GeoHints say about Montenegro? Obviously, it has a mid-length antenna in the north and a short one in the south. Okay. And for Albania, right, I've paused the video here because I skipped past something when I was recording it, and I just wanted to give you this information. I learned that you can actually figure out you're in Albania because of what you see on screen right now, which is the license plates. Very often Albania will have blue on both sides or red on the left side of the license plate. So that's something you can use. I completely skipped past it in the video. You won't hear me mention it anywhere else, but it's learning for the next video. So there you go. We've got the rifts. Antenna can be long or short. So this is something I maybe need to get a bit better in. I'm going to go Albania. We were in Montenegro. So obviously I am waiting to sort of, I need to read some aspects of this more often, saying roadside barriers can be concrete blocks or concrete arches. I'm also waiting for the Plunkett guide on Albania and Montenegro, which may have some also useful information. But pretty good start. We got every country, I think, except one. So let's continue. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so we got the red. The bollard with the red in the middle. It's very flat, so my instinct is Hungary, just because these bollards. So these bollards, I think I talked about them before. You will have seen I talked about them before. You see them in Hungary. You see them in Croatia. You see them in Bulgaria. You see them in Serbia, I believe, as well. But this doesn't look like any of those countries except for Hungary. And it's Lithuania. Wow. Okay. Right. This is a good learning point because I did cover Lithuania in my bollard video. And yes, I'm just an idiot. I am just an idiot. Right. Yeah, so I looked at them and I was seeing red. And to be honest, I'm just blind. So that is the orange bollard, which is characteristic of Lithuania. So it's got the orange. And I just, for some reason, I don't know why I didn't see red there, or why I saw the red there. So let's forget that round happened and move on. Right, okay, this is a good learning point. You guys, if you don't know it, not Croatia, Ukraine commonly has a red Google car. So I would be pretty sure that this is Ukraine. I'm not sure where else you can see it, but I know, well, I think you can see it in some other countries, a red Google car. I don't know which ones, but what I do know is that if you see a red Google car, you're almost certainly in Ukraine. We're going to just go in Ukraine, and we were indeed in Ukraine. Right, what have we got here? Let's see if we can see some bollards. It definitely looks Balkan. Aha, right, okay, we've got this kind of style of bollard with the off-center red. Now, off-center red line is something I always associate with Serbia. So I am going to go Serbia. Let's see if that's correct. It's not. It is North Macedonia, and that is a great bit of learning for us. So it uses two types of bollards. So Plunkett says that obviously these bollards are not common in North Macedonia, but that's just one of those locations, I guess. That right, okay, that's an interesting one. Rural coverage in North Macedonia will normally mostly be on highways. That's interesting. Okay, that's actually good, very good to know. Obviously you got Greek lamps and things like that, but okay, that's really good to know. Okay, right. So we have the Czechia or Slovakian bollard here. And do we have any other information immediately close to us? Let's just go a little bit down the road. There are obviously some small differences. I did speak about them a bit earlier, like the signage. I don't know if this means it's Slovakia because the black is on the edge of the sign. Let's see if we can see anything else. Let's just guess Slovakia. Yes, we were correct. Okay, so because the black border was on the edge of the sign there, that's the indication that's in Slovakia. Okay, what have we got here? Not a bad road quality. Okay, what have we got in the guardrail is... Oh, okay, we've got... right, we got the yellow. So yellow on this bollard usually will mean it's Estonia or Latvia, and I think it's more common to see the yellow in Estonia. As far as the poles go, I'm not getting anything, so I'm going to go Estonia for this. It was Latvia. Okay, that's good to know that those bollards appear in Estonia as well. Latvia as well. I'm confusing things. Yeah, so typically you'll see white in either of these countries, but you'll also see these in yellow, and then the number is more common in Latvia. But yes, there's another example. Okay, that's good. That's good information. Right, what have we got here? Definitely feels no, is it Lithuania? Or oh, okay. So this perpendicular, this is interesting, right? So this perpendicular sign typically, so if I go to geotips, and I go to the top of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, this is something good to know. Estonia usually have signs, kilometer signs perpendicular to the road. Latvia does parallel, and Lithuania does 45-degree. Now, if we go back to that, Estonia, right? I actually think this is Russia, because it doesn't look very typical of the Estonian one. Like, if I go back to the Estonian one, I might be wrong, but I think it's mounted on top of the sign or usually on the pole. This is kind of out to the right. I'm going to go Russia, and I was correct. Okay, that's something to be careful of, because I've seen that a couple of times where you got the kilometer marker on the side, and I go, oh, it's Lithuania, Latvia, or Estonia. I think it has to look specifically this style with that font, and this one did not look like that. So that's a good point. Right. Okay, we have winter coverage here. I won't spend too long scrolling, but winter coverage would typically mean Hungary, Bulgaria, or Czechia. However, we've got a yellow sign, which is not very typical of any of those countries, I don't think. I don't think any of those countries would usually have yellow signs. I mean, certainly Bulgaria, you would see Cyrillic. That's not Romanian. And it's not Hungarian. These signs are usually green in Hungary. So, I'm thinking Croatia, because I think there is also winter coverage in Croatia. Let's see if we're right. We are right. Okay. So that's something you can sometimes see. The reason I said Croatia, yellow signs. Obviously, you see that in Slovenia as well, though I don't know if there's winter coverage in Slovenia. You also see it in Serbia, but it didn't really feel Serbian. But anyways, that was good as a bit of learning. Right. What have we got here? I mean, again, feels very Balkan. We've got Latvian hook poles here. So those are typically seen in Latvia, but this is definitely not Latvia. Rifts in the sky. I'm going to go with Montenegro. It was Montenegro. Right. Next up. Okay. We got our good old off-center red, which I just always gravitate towards Serbia when I see the off-center red marking. Now, could be North Macedonia, but I'm going to go Serbia. It is Serbia. So I think when you see this type of bollard specifically, I'm pretty sure that's only Serbia. But do we have access to... I don't believe... So Plunkett doesn't have a Serbia page set up yet, but we can obviously see that bollard on the GeoTips page. So useful knowledge there. Right. Winter coverage again. But it doesn't really feel very Balkan, which makes me think Czechia or... Oh, right. Lithuania. Is it Lithuania? Let's hope I'm right here. The orange bollard. Yes. Okay, I didn't know you could see winter coverage in Lithuania. So again, useful information there. To learn that it does sometimes come up. Always, I guess, rely on the knowledge that you know and base it off of that. So if you're not sure if something exists in a country, rely on what you know. And there we had the orange bollard. So that, as far as I know, that's only in Lithuania. All right, what have we got here? Those poles look very Argentinian. But we do have... yeah, okay, so this has got to be Russia, right? Because Russia seems to have like a mix of everything. And like we talked about, we've got this weird kind of like Estonian kilometer marker, but it's not Estonian because it doesn't look quite right. And these, I swear these are Argentina. I won't check that, but yeah, we're in Russia. If you see a mishmash, you're in Russia. Right, what have we got here? What color is this sign? Okay, we've got dual Cyrillic and what's the name of that alphabet? Latin alphabet? Or I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about the countries it could be. It could be Bulgaria. It could be North Macedonia. It could be Serbia, and I think it can also be Montenegro. But the blue sign, so this would typically be yellow in Serbia, and I think it would be yellow in Montenegro. North Macedonia, I'm not sure, but I'm fairly sure blue is most commonly seen in Bulgaria, and we were right. Okay, right, what have we got? We've got, I guess, Romania here. Because of the white bottom of these poles, they are thin again, which is strange, but I'm pretty sure that's just going to be Romania. Yeah. Okay, next up, what have we got? We've got a green sign in the distance. Now, the green highway sign, I believe, is typically found in either Hungary or Romania, or North Macedonia, because we got Skopje. Okay. Okay. So the red car is back, which means we should be in Ukraine, and we were. Okay. Okay, we've got the yellow signs in the distance. So let's go up to them. Yellow signs and dual Cyrillic and English, or not English, but Latin alphabet, or however it's called. This bollard as well. I think it's Serbia. I think it's got to be Serbia. No, it's not. No, it is not. Okay, right. This is a good learning opportunity. The bollard completely led us the wrong way there. Now let's go to, yeah. So we can see these bollards in North Macedonia, as well as Serbia, I believe. Let's have a look. North Macedonia. So can we see those bollards in Serbia? Okay, right, we can't. Or at least according to geo hints, we shouldn't be seeing those bollards in Serbia. So that's good information. Right. I will try and remember that. That's specifically a North Macedonian bollard. Wow, this is Gen 4, I think. Very exposed, or very high saturation. I don't see any information though. Let's just go up to here. What do we see? I mean, the fact that this feels okay, right, this is a good thing to look at. So something I am trying to learn as well are these crossing signs. So I do have a tab open for that. But without looking carefully into that, I think this is probably Slovenia. So this looks quite alpine. This looks very alpine, actually. It could be Croatia, but I don't think Croatia ever looks this alpine. When I say alpine, I just mean it looks like, even parts of Switzerland or Austria. Quite green and then fairly mountainous. But I also was thinking Czechia or Slovakia, but Czechia and Slovakia typically have a hat on the man, I think, and they actually have different, I think, kind of thinner stripes or something like that. So I'm going to go Slovenia after all that. And we were correct. That's good. Right, here we have these poles. We have winter coverage. So I said before, these poles are found in, Poland, Hungary, and Romania. Now these are the thinner poles, which are typically more seen in Hungary and Poland, and it's also winter coverage. So I'm just thinking it must be Hungary. It could be Romania. No, it's not. It's Hungary. Okay, we've got these bollards back. White with 2 dots. Feels Estonian or Latvian, one of the two. It's actually quite a good guess. But yeah, it was Estonia. Right, I think I'm going to make this the last few rounds. I've got, what, 2 left on this round, so let's see what we come up with. We've got Cyrillic, and also Rusa is a fairly big city in Bulgaria. It said 89 to Rusa, so picking next to Rusa wasn't an obvious location, but also the blue sign there, useful, double Cyrillic and Latin, all useful. Very urban location, no sky rifts, no, and oh no, there is an antenna. This could be anywhere. I'm leaning Croatia. I was right. Okay. It just looked fairly Croatian. Also, Croatia typically has autumn footage. I don't know if this is definitely autumn footage. It's kind of hard to tell. Fair amount of evergreen plants here, so not certain that it's autumn, but that's something to know, that Croatia typically has autumn footage. Right, and this will be the last one. A blue car. I don't know. I mean, I think this is just maybe typical of. I think this might be Gen 4. Or is it Gen 3? Something I need to get better at, distinguishing between generations of camera. Let's scroll for a bit more since it's the last one. Well, we got what looks to be some Latvian hook poles there, but I'm not confident at all we're in Latvia. In fact, it feels like we're not in Latvia. Okay, we got another type of bollard. That looks almost like a Romanian bollard. Let's see what the language says. I am not sure. Wow, okay. It's actually Hungary, which is really interesting because I've not seen this location. I would not have guessed Hungary at first, but this is why we're doing learning. It's actually a crazy guess, isn't it? So we're going to end it there. Thanks very much for watching. There'll be a ton more of these videos covering different aspects of the meta, whether it's going to be poles, bollards, regions, etc. But either way, you'll be along with me for the learning process. And yeah, I thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you again in the next video. Cheers.